Alright, tools to start. T30 Torx and a T20 Torx. Plastic trim set, magnets, 8mm spanner, trim tool, a mirror and a magnet is a good idea, and you'll need body sealant. The brackets and screws should come with the kit, alcohol cleaner, and this stuff which is adhesive promoter. It comes with my kit as well as the foam sealant. So I'm going to put all of the bolts and some gloves. So start at the handle at the back, and then behind the handle here there's a little hole where this can insert, and just pops it. That's off. Once it's off, there's 2 Torx that need to come off. And that creates space here for movement. And then use your trim tool. I've got plastic around it so it doesn't scratch the car. In and push. It makes a really bad sound. Use your finger in the bottom part. It requires a lot of force. And once you've got the last clip, be careful, there's 2 electrical wires that power these lights, and you don't want the whole thing to drop. Comes over here. So you can see these connectors, there's 2 connectors. Push the little clip in and just slide out. One. Two. Alright, this can go somewhere safe. So this is the motor for the original wing. These are the drain points for where the water drains from a central draining hole on the top. They'll need to come off. And these are the 2 electrical connectors. The blue one is for power, the black one is for the 2 hall sensors. They need to go. Again, little clip, and on the side one, big clip. And then itself slides on this little rail. You push that little guy up, and then it slides off It disconnects and I just rip it. That's off. These water things need to go. That's off. And there's a series of 8mm X nuts that connect the wing element to the car. So 8mm socket. Do these ones last. When you take these off, you got to be very careful not to lose them. They'll go inside the metalwork, and that's the last you'll ever see them again.
Does the wing need to be up or down when you start?
I did it down, and it works up better. So I've taken most of the bolts off, and the outside ones here we've just loosened but not removed. We don't want the wing to fall that way because of the angle of the hatch. Now here where the motor is, there's this bolt there which you need to remove, but these three here, and if you can see it there, leave them on. They hold the motor to the base plate and they can come out afterwards. It's very difficult to get tools on these, and the gap is too small. So undo this and then we'll remove the whole wing, and once the wing's on the bench, then this can be undone. So we're using a magnet just to be as a safeguard so that the bolt doesn't fall into the bodywork. Got it. Okay, so we'll lower the wing down and then remove the last bolts by hand. So once the bolts are undone, grab the edges and just lift straight up. Careful of the wire, the motor wire, it'll catch. So just got it. There it is. And put it somewhere flat. On here you can see the mechanism. This is the motor that drives the wing up and down by rotating this shaft. It drives the brackets up. We had the wing up, makes it easy to get it off later. So we need to transfer this motor across to the new base plate, because if we don't, and these aren't attached, the car is limited to 125 mile an hour and you're going to check engine light. The difficulty is that these pins here which secure the base plate to the car, the new base plate you'll get doesn't have the 3 extra studs that will attach the motor to the base plate. If you go to the plate over here, this is our painted base plate. The extra studs just simply aren't on it. So we need to affix this to here through glue, more or less. Unless you can get it coated by the manufacturer, but we've been unable to do that. Alright, so we'll remove the motor. It's the 3 8mm nuts. That one later. So the shaft goes through just a little rubber grommet type thing to water seal it, and then pops out on the other side here. So we just need to pull it through. It's a bit of flex in the shaft. So I start by pulling the motor off its studs. Once it's off its studs, it can go left and right. You can do one side at a time. Okay, so we removed it by taking the 2 Torx nuts out of either side, which then frees up the mechanism, and you then pull in the back here, pull the shaft out of each side, and then now we have the motor mechanism removed. So this now has to get stuck on to the base plate, and we're going to use glue to do that, although if you have a better way, whatever works. So this is the OEM base plate, and you can see it's got a foam waterproof strip around the edges to keep water out of the mechanism. So I need to do this to the new wing. This channel that runs along the outside is where we're going to put our waterproofing strip, but first we have to prepare the surface. So start with the surface cleaner. Once that's clean, we have to apply the adhesion promoter. It's really nasty stuff. Use latex gloves, don't get it on your skin. Okay, now we apply the foam. If you're going to make an error, go too far to the outside of the wing, not too far to the inside. Okay. So now that foam is on, it will make a seal around this lip here, around the outside. You can see the old mark to prevent water getting in, but it doesn't seal this hole here, which is the drain hole, and that's what connected to the rubber hoses that run inside the boot. Come out here. But with the new base plate, these don't connect to anything, so the water will simply run into the boot area. So we need to seal this off completely. And to do that, we'll use the body sealant, and we'll just seal this hole up so no water can get in. Alright, so we'll fill up the hole now. Get it right in there. Yep. And we'll probably get a cloth. So what we need to do is to align the holes or the position of the motor on the new base plate, but we don't have any of the studs. These studs here are additional on our car, but on the new one they don't exist. So the technique I've used, piece of paper, put it over the top of the existing studs and push down, making indentations and mark it with a pen, and then on the new one place it down. You can see these 3 holes are on the new plate, and then push through it with a pencil or a knife or something. And make a mark. And when you lift it off, you know now where you have to align your motor. And it's important because when you put the wing on, it has to fit into this gap. If the alignment is out, there's a fair bit of margin, but if your alignment is significantly out, then when you put the base plate on, it'll hit somewhere. And if you've already glued it, that could be a problem.
Yeah, the dots?
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to apply some adhesive now. I'll show you what we used in a sec. Put that one exactly on the dot, yep. This part?
Yeah.
Get that one exactly on, the other 2 as close to the bottom as you can. Yep. Alright. We need to let this set for half an hour, so we'll be back. Alright, so we're finished with the adhesive. We used this crap to get the job. And it is in there pretty good. So once that's done, dummy fit it to the car to make sure the spacing is good. We've already done that. And then next we need to mount the main wing to the base plate before we install it in the car, because you won't have access to the bolts once it's on the car. So for that we need a pack of stuff. Okay, so when you get the wing, the holes for the nuts have spurs on them from the moulding process, so the nut won't cleanly go through initially. Same as over here, 5.5mm drill bit. Clean them up, and then the nut will go through. that's done. Still not quite there. That one's alright. There we go. Okay. To mount it, you'll get bracket kit like there. Oops. Like that. And we attach it to the main wing. Have a large space with something soft down so you don't stretch the wing. Not too tight, because we still have to jiggle it around. Alright, once that's connected, we're ready to put the wing on the car. So carefully lower it down. Watch out for the electrical connector. Make sure you feed that through. It will sit high initially because it's sitting on the foam. Once we screw it down, it'll suck down and be the same level as the rest of the tail. When you lift it up, be careful the whole thing doesn't fall forwards. We can then connect this blue guy to the bracket, and then the power connector and the hall sensor. They're all done. These two are the lights that come at the end, and then we'll loosely do up all of the nuts. Don't tighten them all the way because you want to align the panel with its gaps. Make sure it's left and right and forward and backwards in the right place before you do a final tighten. So just put all these back on. Okay, so all the bolts are done up. All we're doing now is putting a little bit of noise cancelling foam so that it doesn't rattle around because that's got some play in it. A bit of here as well. So that'll quieten it up. All that's left to do now is get the trim, connect these two bits up to it, and then click it in, and we're done. I'll put this back on. A little bit tricky. This one's in, and get the orientation of the clips right. That's in. And then hook it over this tail part, so at least we'll stay there. Start feeling for the clips. use that T20 Torx, put these guys back in. Plastic piece. Click in the place. Down and done.